So I heard you were, before you had this car, you were driving a Jetta at 120 miles an hour. So why were you driving a Jetta at 120 miles an hour?
Who told you that little bit of information there?
Inside sauce.
Wow. Yes, I was definitely one of my first speeding tickets in LA was a big fat speeding ticket. Yes, I was going way too fast, and that's very dangerous.
How much would that ticket have been for?
You know, it wasn't the money I was concerned about. It was
Oh, the insurance?
Yeah, it was the insurance and the points and everything else. But I had an amazing attorney, and I actually got out of it all. Paid the attorney, so all the bills went to the attorney.
Seriously, why were you driving that fast? What happened?
You know, I was driving back from Vegas. It was like 6 in the morning. There was no one on the road. And I was really anxious to get home. I was tired. I was talking to my ex-boyfriend at the time, and I forget even what we were saying or what was going on. I don't know. I think it was this feeling of, like, freedom. I think it was the first car that I've ever bought and paid for on my own was the Jetta. And it was exciting, like, driving back from freedom, driving back on my own, like, the single girl, like, I don't know, I don't know what it was. I shouldn't have been driving that fast. And I have not ever driven that fast since then.
How many speeding tickets have you gotten in your life?
In my life? A bit too many. But I don't get tickets for anything else.
More than a dozen?
No, not more than a dozen.
More than 5?
Probably more than 5 in my whole driving record, yeah. Probably more than 5. But, you know, I don't get tickets for anything else. I don't do drugs. I don't really drink. I don't smoke. You know, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad kid. I was a really good kid growing up. I mean, for the most part, at least my parents thought I was. And studied hard, did well in school, blah, blah, blah. So if speeding's like, you know...
the worst thing you do.
Please, please. I mean, as long as I'm safe, I would never... There was no one on the road. I didn't feel like I was really endangering anybody else. Regardless, shouldn't have been going that fast. So, what's done is done, right?
And then why did you get this sexy red vehicle, sports car that screams, give me a ticket?
Yes, it definitely screams, give me a ticket, and I've been more fortunate in this car than I was in the Jetta. You know, it's... as soon as I moved to LA, I wanted a convertible. All my life, I wanted a convertible that I can own and call my own. And this was actually, it was a friend of mine who owned this car for about 6 months. He didn't want it anymore. He wanted to sell it to me and have me continue, you know, paying off all the payments. And it was between this and I think it was like a Mazda I was looking at, like a Mazda convertible. And I was a little pressured into getting this, even though I knew that this was very, very me. And he's like, if I don't sell it to you, I'm going to sell it to someone else. I think it screams your name. Christina, it's red, it's you, it's LA. Like, you got to have it. Come on. So it was a little bit of peer pressure and a lot of, I know that it was really, like, it really is kind of me. And driving it was the ultimate pushover. I mean, as soon as I drove it, it's a muscle car. A BMW is a muscle car, and it drives like a man, and I drive like a man. I don't drive like a woman. I drive like a man. If you weren't in the car with me right now, we'd definitely be going faster.
I'm a chicken, so...
We'd definitely be going faster. And I feel safe in here. In the Mazda, I didn't feel as safe. You know, you can be speeding really fast in here and still be really safe and feel good, and the brakes, everything. I mean, everything is just BMW insured. The warranty, it's just an amazing deal once you have all the package of the BMW behind you. Anytime you need to get anything fixed, you go right there, they take care of you. And yeah, I feel safe. I mean, I drove on a flat tire, unfortunately. You could drive 50 miles on a flat tire on BMW tires and be safe. So there's a little bit of security in buy what you pay for kind of thing.
Here you drive like a man outside of vehicles as well.
What's that?
I hear you drive like a man outside of vehicles.
Outside of vehicles?
Outside of vehicles.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Vehicles are the main manly instinct in me.
So do you realize what a great job that your parents did with you?
Why is that?
I mean, you got, like, great manners, and, you know, you haven't self-destructed, you know, having a lifestyle and a profession in which people self-destruct all the time.
Very true.
you're on time, you're reliable, you're responsible, you're courteous,
Aw,
you're
thank you, Luke.
well-spoken. Like, your
Thank you.
parents did a really good job with you.
You think so?
Yeah, do you realize that? I mean, do you feel gratitude to them for the job they did with you? Or do you think it's like, hey, I made this, I created all this? What do you think?
That's a really good question. That's a really great question. Wow. I don't even know if I'm ready to answer that. That's intense, you know. I like what you said about gratitude, because I think life is all about gratitude and being grateful for everyone and everything and just the universe, and how lucky we are to live and to breathe. Every breathing moment you should be grateful for. I'm excited to go do yoga tonight, where I'm going to be in such gratitude. It's a 2-hour yoga class. Yay, yay, yay. Notice how I'm avoiding the question. As far as, you know, that's a good point, because I do feel like, you know, your parents give you wings to fly, and then I believe a parent's, you know, greatest gift to the child is to allow them to fly. So, you know, you give them the wings, you give them the source, and then you give them the tools, and then it's what they make out of those tools, you know? To each is given a rock or a stone, you know, a stepping stone, or whatever you want to use with it, whatever you want to do with what you're given. Definitely my parents taught me a lot. Growing up, I was in a house where manners were important, and I like that I grew up in a house where wine was included very often in meals, so alcohol's never really been a big deal to me. Like a lot of kids, you know, it's so forbidden, so the things that are so forbidden is what you really want to do in life. And that's funny, actually, as I'm talking about this, I'm thinking, you know, what was really forbidden in my house, or uncomfortable in my house growing up, was more like nudity, and was more like sex, and talking about things like that. Like I said before, I come from, you know, a Sicilian background where I think my parents just aren't comfortable, maybe in their own skin. And that's interesting, because I'm like the opposite. I'm very comfortable in my own skin, and I've made that for myself, because my sister is not that way. My sister is not as comfortable in her own skin, and not as comfortable probably sexually as I am, which is fine. Whatever works for each his own. But it's interesting how, so there's a lot about me that I feel like I am self-made, in the sense of I moved out. I left them to move to Boston for my first year of college, and then go to California after that. So it was all my decisions, that I really wanted to take these venturing out steps. My sister didn't do that. My sister stayed closer to home, and then she's probably a little closer to, whoa, that was kind of close. My sister kind of stayed closer to home, and is more, maybe a little bit more closer to what their morals and what they were teaching and preaching. So that's interesting. I think it's a combination of both. Yes, I'm grateful, but I'm also very grateful for myself, and I'm very proud of the things I've done in the face of opposition, in the face of great opposition, because my parents are not okay with me being on Zane's Sex Chronicles, and not okay. In the beginning, they hated the fact that I was in Playboy, until they actually saw the article and saw that I was not even nude. I mean, I had panties on in the article, in the picture. You know, they have a hard time accepting things at first. So I think I'm very self-made, but it's a combination. It's definitely a combination of grateful for them, and then grateful for my life and circumstance, and fate, and my beliefs, and holding on to what I believe. So, combination.
How did you come to feel so comfortable with being so physically exposed?
You know, even when I was a little kid, like, I've always been an exhibitionist. Even when I was a little kid, my parents would drag me to church on Sunday, and it was not my kind of church, not really where I felt comfortable. I always wanted to, like, stand out. So I would, like, flash people my little bum when I was, like, 4 or 5 years old. And I would do things that were a little bit, like, in an endearing, cute way that was still, you know, a child. That was harmless. You know, flash people, maybe take off my underwear, or something that I knew I wasn't really supposed to do. And it just kind of felt, you know, felt fun and freeing. So I think I've always had it in me. I really do. I think it's always been a part of me. It's just something that came out more when I moved to California. It really did come out more when moving to California. I think moving to California was a big freeing jump. You know, getting away from all the family, the East Coast vibe. So yeah, California helped.
So, are you an exhibitionist?
I think so. I love the attention.